Nebraska's primary election is just a day away. Are you ready to cast your vote? Joining us on the eve of voting day with what's new this year and what voters have to keep in mind, Secretary of State Bob Evnen. Mr. Secretary, thanks for joining us today.
Jack, it's good to be with you.
Good to have you here. Obviously, tomorrow's a big day, but today there's actually an important deadline for certain voters. Can you share that with everyone?
Well, people who want to vote early at the Election Commissioner's office can do so today. Through the end of today. They will not be able to do that tomorrow on Election Day.
Absolutely.
And also, if you are voting early and want to drop off a ballot, you can do that today as well, but you will not be able to do it tomorrow unless you want to take it into the Election Commissioner's office.
Great. When do polls open tomorrow?
Polls open at 8 a.m. 8 a.m. Central Time, 7 a.m. Mountain Time.
Now, this is an interesting election here because it's Nebraska's first test of the state's new voter ID law. First off, is the voting process going to change for everyday Nebraska voters?
Well, the big change is that you have to bring an approved form of photo ID with you to the polls. 97 or 98% of Nebraskans already have a state-issued photo ID issued by the DMV, either a driver's license or a state ID. And for those 2 or 3% of registered voters who do not have that, there are a number of other forms of ballots, forms of IDs that are available for them, and that is a military ID, a passport, a tribal ID. If you have a college photo ID issued by a college or university in the state of Nebraska, public or private, you can use that. Photo IDs that are issued by political subdivisions also can be used. And there are provisions as well for people who live in independent living facilities or assisted living facilities.
Great. So you get to your polling place, you realize you forgot your driver's license. Any troubleshooting there?
Yeah, I wonder how you got to the polling place, but that's a different department. You'll be given the opportunity to go home and get it. If you don't want to do that, you can still cast your ballot provisionally. So you'll be given a ballot, you'll mark it, it'll be put in an envelope, and then you have a week to bring in your approved form of ID to the Election Commissioner's office.
Okay, nice and easy and covered on all bases there. Can we shift to election security? Top of mind this time of year. What protections are in place across Nebraska?
Well, in the month before every statewide primary and statewide general election, every single ballot counting device in the state is tested 3 times. We put three decks of ballots through the machine 3 different times. We run 2 mock elections. This is all before the elections occur in the month prior to the elections. So we're doing that to make sure that our election systems are working right. We also have 2 mock elections before every general election and every primary statewide. And again, to check out our systems to make sure that they're reporting accurately. And then afterwards, after the general election in 2022, and after the general election this year again, we will do an audit of 10% of the precincts cast across the state, at least 1 precinct in every county. We'll hand count 3 races, again to check whether the machine counts that are reported square with the hand counts. And I can tell you that in 2022, the variance was 23 thousandths of 1%. So we're pretty accurate.
I would say so. I know you guys have been putting in months of preparation here. As we round out the eve before voting day, is there any message you'd like to send out to everyone going to the polls?
Inform yourself about the races, inform yourself about the issues, be an informed voter, and don't forget that photo ID.
Perfect. Secretary Evnen, thanks for making time for us this morning and coming in.
My pleasure.
And remember, if you can find all of this information online right now in our election guide, it's on KETV.com under the Commitment 2024 tab.